Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, Universal Broadcasting Network, and then every Thursday at 7 and Saturday at 1 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. And the big news is I have re-signed for another year. I've been asked to renew, and I'm being bumped up into iHeartRadio. So that will start April Fool's Day. No joke. So very, very grateful. My YouTube views have now broke 48,000. Thanks to you, my listeners, in this show about hope and happiness. And before we get started, I just wanted to just take a moment. If you could all, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But for those of you who are not, take a deep breath in through the nose. And we're just going to spend an exhale of peace and comfort, an inhale with love to all those who have been impacted by the bombing in Brussels. And another deep breath in. And just sending out all that is love. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I actually lived in Brussels for 2 years, so this is particularly poignant. I have heard from some of my friends, everybody over there that I know is all right, but there are plenty that are not okay right now. But we just know that we may not understand things. And we may feel very helpless at this point. So if you are feeling helpless, you've already heard the news, you've watched the tapes once, don't sit and lose the rest of the day watching speculation. I'd like you to do one piece of homework, and that is, if there's one person in your life that you cannot forgive, I want you to forgive them today, and that's what you can do in furthering world peace. All right. And I'm going to give some peace outs. I've had one heck of a fabulous week. 4 or 5 days in a row, got to drive downtown and peace in and out to Yanni. I got to go to that fabulous concert and meet the wonderful musicians, including my big brother, Ming Freeman. Daka, thank you so much for having me there. Also to big shout out to my I'm Keeping True boss, Reverend Arlene, who celebrated her birthday, and we all celebrated at Olak. And if you've never been there downtown, the best vegan food I think I've ever had was there. And also to the Unstoppable folks who raised a lot of money. Cynthia Kersey and my big brother, Reverend Michael Dr. Bernard Beckwith did the evocation. And so peace in and peace out. Thanks to Michelle Patterson, who invited me because I'm on the advisory board of her Woman Network, which if you missed that event, go to my YouTube page and find the link for the International Women's Day celebration that we had, record-breaking. Go to womannetwork.com. And also, I got to meet the Fawns and get a selfie with the Fawns. Hopefully, I can get him on the show. He was at the Unstoppable event and did a little talk. And then, I just love the way my life works and the universe works. I was on my way out, bumped into Mikey, who also has a talk show. And we had met at the Keiko Matsui concert because Keiko was on my show. And he broke me into the other event that was at the JW Marriott upstairs or downstairs. And it was the human rights campaign, and I got recognized by Jude, and she recognized me on the air, and then she said her partner, her spouse, just happened to be on the board of governors for the Human Rights Campaign. So absolutely fabulous people that are doing things to improve the planet. So even though the focus is on terrorism right now and all the horrible things that they're doing, I choose to focus on those who are doing good things on the planet. And I am inviting you to join me to do so as well. And let's see, I think that's it for the Peace In, Peace Out shout outs. If you have missed any of my past March Focus on Health shows, please go to my YouTube. We had posture last week. We had addiction and Gerard from Costa Rica with rhythmia, and then we had tax tips. So I'm just focused on health for you, and today is no exception. I am bringing to the menu a selection called Koya Webb, who is an internationally recognized holistic health coach, author, motivational speaker, yoga teacher, and professional fitness model with appearances on NBC, CBS, and The Steve Harvey Show. Her holistic health, detox, and lifestyle tips have been featured on Essence, Oxygen, Vegan Health, Fitness, Max Sport, Fitness, and Muscle and Performance, among others. We're going to get to know her today. Without further ado, please welcome to the studio, Koya Webb.
Hello, thanks for having me. It's
Absolutely.
Such an honor.
She's also my vegan diet, not diet coach, and we're going to talk more about that. But I also wanted to give a huge shout out and love to all of my I'm Keeping True peeps who have been with me. We're, I think, almost 50, and Koya is the resident diet coach for us. And so, and we've been doing 6 a.m. calls for the last 40 days every morning. And Rev Arlene Hilton is the amazing brainchild behind this program. I'm going to have her on during Ramadan to talk about that. And so, but I wanted to have Koya on because she's been instrumental in helping me break through some life-changing BS.
Oh, yeah.
Belief systems about diet and exercise. So first of all, though, let's talk to Koya. I have a friend. She does not have an answering machine. She has a questioning machine. And when you call her, it says, "Who are you? And what do you want?" So Koya Webb, who are you? And what do you want?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
I like that. Who am I? I am love. Mm-hmm. I am a divine emanation of the divine, spiritual being having human experience as Koya Webb, holistic health coach, is something that I like to identify as. And I work on nutrition because there's no one diet that works for everyone, but there are many things you can do to have healthy nutrients and vitamins and minerals in your diet. And I do that along with some yoga. Mm-hmm. And I love to help people live a healthy and active lifestyle. It's kind of what I do.
Yeah, that's a good nutshell. That's a good nutshell. So for all of you out there who want the top 3 that are type A pluses like me, we want to get right to the point. What would you say the 3 biggest fallacies about nutrition are?
The 3 biggest fallacies about nutrition, you need animal protein to have muscle. Fallacy number 1.
Okay, good. BS number 1.
BS number 2. You can't get enough protein on a vegan diet.
Okay.
Fallacy number 3. How you look controls your level of happiness.
Ooh, excellent.
Fallacy number 3.
That's the one I've been working on. So let's start with the vegan diet. And I confessed on our group call on Sunday. I don't know if you were on that call, with the weekly one, but I confess I was one of those people before going on I'm Keeping True who, if you would say vegan, I would go, ugh. Like, please, people, can you can you get attention some other place? Picky. They have to have special this and special that, and they want the world to revolve around their special needs for food. Just have a salad. I was horrible. Now, I would never say that out loud. and then the universe has a great sense of humor because my daughter became vegan 3 years ago, and so that's been a nice sand in my oyster shell because I had to keep buying all these very expensive foods. It is coming down now that all three of us are actually on the vegan diet together, Sarah and Chloe. But so I have completely changed. I am now like, wow, I do feel better. I was tired a little at first in the change, but there are so many and I'm a foodie, so I thought too that I would have to give up taste and variety, and I have discovered that I haven't had to do that.
Especially not in LA. We have so much variety here. I mean, it's an abundance of yummy vegan food.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing that people think is like, they don't think, how you said it's picky this and picky that. It's like we're worth the best. And until we start to demand the best, we're not going to have the best. We just kind of deal with what we're given, the cheapest of the cheap. Oh, yeah, first we thought we need 12 servings of bread, rice, and pasta, and because that's just what was available.
Okay.
But we are worth more than just what's available. We are worth the best.
I like that.
And we go seek that out, and we find out, oh, my God, this gives me energy and health and vitality. And that is what I did. And that is how I stuck with the vegan diet. Because I feel good.
Now, were your parents vegan? Or?
Not at all.
Not
and
at
still
all.
not vegan.
Still not vegan.
No.
Do they understand you?
They totally understand me now.
Okay.
But in the beginning, they were just like, where is Koya and can you bring her back? Can you still cook bacon? Can you still make us steaks? That's what we want to know. No? Okay, you have distanced yourself from the family. So it was they just didn't really understand in the beginning why I chose it. And they didn't understand it was a lifestyle. They thought it was, it's a fad. She'll be over it in a couple months.
Okay.
Then after a couple months, they were like, okay, it's a strong fad. She'll be over it in a couple years. I think after the 6th year, they were like, okay, this is who she is. And that's when when I first became a vegan, I was one of they're like, there's terrorists, there's these people, and then there's vegans. It's like I was in that category, like, oh my God, don't eat that. Clearing out the cupboards of my house, trying to save my family.
You did that?
I did that in the beginning. Because once you learn how bad MSG and high fructose corn syrup and how these things cause or are responsible for cancer and different congestive heart failure and things you want to save not only the world, you want to save especially your family. And as a newbie, you don't understand that it's a big shift.
Right.
And not only is it a physical shift, what you put in your mouth, it's an emotional and even spiritual shift.
Yeah.
And so once I got deeper in my practice and I learned compassion. And I learned to focus on love. Then I learned to be more gentle and what I was trying to offer, and offering more now through inspiration than you need to do this and this is what's best for you.
The new studies that are coming out are definitely supporting everything that you're saying. Processed food, level 1 carcinogen. So hot dogs, bologna, all those things that were our fast foods, all processed foods, the pesticides that are in our foods. It's if you have the money, you buy organic. It's not about that BS. It's about if we really, the increase in cancer, it's no accident, that the increase in cancer coincides with what is the one thing that has really shifted from the baby boomer generation to the generation now. So the baby boomers are feeling the consequence of all of the TV dinner, the processed foods, the microwave, the processing, the pesticides, the GMO, all of that is now culminating in our health. And so I love the fact that this movement is no longer about being a pain in the in the neck, but it's really, like you said, about loving yourself enough to have really good food in your body and your system. And that, we can have all kinds of affordable health, but if we don't take care of our body temple, then it doesn't matter how much, our healthcare is it's going to take us down.
That's right. And I tell people, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I want to be vegan. Well, don't worry about that. I just say eat more plants and less processed food. I mean, that alone, if you eat more plants, more fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds and grains and less processed food, that alone will take your health to the next level.
Right.
And then where you want to go from that, once you start experiencing the results, then you can make a decision on where you want to go from that. But yeah, I think if people can just start somewhere, like you have with the 40-day Lent, with I'm Keeping True, it was a start.
Right.
And now you can decide, okay, now after this, where am I going to stay?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question right now I had with my younger daughter, because she went on it because I went on it. And so I have a choice because it's over in 7 days, or I'm going to go with Reverend Arlene right to the not the bitter end, the sweet end at 53 days.
Sweet, juicy end.
So yeah, so we'll I'm all about balance.
Right.
So the one thing though is what I learned from you is, well, first of all, you have great recipes. Koya has a recipe book that has some really doable stuff that, you don't have to be, because cooking usually is against my religion. So you don't have to be a rocket science to follow it. But let's put the moose on the table, because for those of you who have been following my own journey with body image and body size and how I see myself, and I put everything down, and with my interview with Janine Roth, and I don't know if you know her, she's like huge. She was Oprah's diet coach, and she's big on throwing away the scale, and it's an inside job, not an outside job. And I learned from her, and I love her book, When You Eat at the Refrigerator, Pull Up a Chair, because that's all emotional, compulsive overeating. But I still was at that place when I came to you where I remember we had the call, and I said to you, I've lost some weight, I've lost like 7 pounds, although I just got back on the scale, and it went back up like 3. So I was like, blah! I've lost some inches. I've lost 8 inches, which is great. And I said to Koya, okay, I have a red carpet event this week, and I could go Rambo. Nothing against Stallone, but I could go and just do your 1 shake, 1 smoothie, and 1 small meal, and probably lose like drastic. And I just didn't feel like it. I knew, because I used to starve myself to get into the size. 8 years of modeling, you learn how to starve yourself. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to do that, but I thought you were going to tell me to do that. I really did. And then what did you say to me?
I said the main thing that we have to work on is not where you put in your mouth, but how you think in your mind. Mm. And to me, it's about self-judgment and self-love. Mm-hmm. And when you love yourself, there's no judgment on what size you should be or what dress you can fit in. It's just showing up and being loved. And I refused to say anything about your diet because I knew that it was deeper than the diet. And I knew that it had to do with really loving yourself in the moment, because we've all dealt with it. I think every woman on the planet has at one time looked in the mirror and gone, ugh, Mm-hmm. And it's learning to look in the mirror and go, okay. And then look into your eyes and saying, I love this. Mm-hmm. I love you. And no matter what it is, and that is the power that we have to cultivate and pass on to our daughters and as women, and be able to look at ourselves in our different states. Like I look at myself like, oh, I could have did a little bit more with my makeup, but that's okay. You see it, you acknowledge it's not like it's not there, but learning to not self-criticize and not self-judge ourselves so much.
Yeah. But for those of you who are watching, all right, if you're on AM, FM, you'll have to go to the YouTube after. It's easy for you to say, I love myself. Look at you. I mean, you have a perfect body. You have a beautiful face. And just in case, I'm reading your mind. Yes, I know some of you are looking at the camera right now and saying that. And even me. But here's the deal. I saw this book early on that this photographer did, and I keep meaning to look it up. It's 50 the most beautiful women in the world, and he photographed them. And on every page is this beautiful picture, and on the opposite page is what they don't like about themselves. And it seems like we just all have this BS where we have something that, well, thank you very much, but you haven't seen me without my clothes on.
Right.
Or thank you very much, but and that level of self. So I wrote about it in LinkedIn, diet and exercise, because I've been saying that my whole life. Weight loss is it's not rocket science. You just eat less and exercise more, right? It doesn't matter if you drink the green tea or if you drink this supplement or this magic pill or whatever. You just have to do the gospel according to Nike. Just do it. When you don't feel like it, just do it. But it's not. It really is not, because I've lost probably 1,000 pounds over my life, and but here's the thing. I know that if I say I can eat whatever I want, and I don't have any limits and I don't have any restrictions, I'm going to be 1,000 pounds.
And that's why the key is not just diet and exercise, it's loving yourself more. Because when you love yourself, when you really love yourself, not trying to be like everyone else, not trying to relate to everyone, but when you love yourself and this is better than that, this is going to give me health, vitality. And when you know that, and you really love yourself, you will more times than not pick what's good for you over what's going to take away from your health. Not trying to, I got to eat this because everyone else is eating it. I went through that. So it's a point of where, what does it mean to love yourself? And that's what we have to learn. What does it really mean to love yourself? To get enough sleep. And I'm not perfect in this. I'm not perfect. Not only have I went through not feeling I was beautiful, not liking my dark skin, trying to be the model. Oh, I'm too big, or I'm too small, or I'm too muscular. Trying to be an athlete. Oh, I didn't make the team. Now I'm hurt. Now I'm worthless. I go through the same thing. It doesn't matter how you look. You will go through self-judgment. But when you learn to love yourself and do things in your life that promote that, then that is self-love. And those things is not I'll eat whatever I want. Because I eat whatever I want is not self-love. That's what I say. I eat whatever. Because when you put toxic things in your body and you see the results, would you feed that to a child? If you would feed donuts to a child every day, if you wouldn't feed what you eat to a child that is 5, then you shouldn't eat it. And I'm not saying about balance. I'm not saying occasionally you can't have this or that, but on a regular basis, I think we should eat what is good for us, and that's self-love.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
It's interesting because there is that voice of the 5-year-old, though, that is internal. It's like, but I want that donut. So it's like, I don't care if it's good for me or bad for me. I want that donut. And I think that voice is the one that sabotages me, so the critic is saying, well, you should eat that because it's better for you. And then the little girl or the brat says, you're not the boss of me, and I'll eat whatever I want to. So my work has been to build that balance center, Dr. Marissa, who says, okay, well, yeah, that's good for you, but not because I'm telling you or making you want that. I want you to want that. And that's the aha I had, that if I do really love myself and honor myself, then I won't want to sabotage myself with my little brat that rears its ugly little head or ugly little beautiful head every once in a while and just says no, because I'll get that impulse now. Ever since that aha, like I'll get that impulse that says, why don't you go walk on the treadmill? Not from you gotta go to the gym 3 times a week and you have to put in that hour, and if you don't, you're a failure, and you're not practicing what you teach and blah, blah, blah. It's not coming from there. The impulse was, I have a little time right now that I could actually go to the gym. But then the little sabotaging brat goes, but you don't have to. And, I don't feel like it.
And the retrain of the brain is there is no critic and there is no brat.
Right.
And if you even want to have two people, you love them both, and then you decide as the observer, looking like, okay, I cannot do that now and I can do that now. And I love when I do something healthy, and I love when I kind of let myself. So if it changes into like there is no victim here. There is no one against Dr. Marissa here. There's this person that loves to play and loves to do whatever she wants, and there's this person that knows what's best for her. So we change this because all of these are parts of you.
Right.
So we're changing this judgment again, because judgment is fear. We're changing it into love because there's a fear is, if I give in to them, then I won't be straight. Or if I give in to them, I won't have fun. You see?
Right.
How both of those are still judgment.
Yeah.
So it's about getting away from judgment, getting more into love. I love my playful young self. I love my expert and, structured self. I love both of them. And every day I will make the decision out of love of what I'm going to do. That is falling in love with yourself in all sides of yourself. And you do it in your speech, you do it in your mind, and it is a practice. It's not perfection. But the more you practice it, the easier it gets to feel love, see love in everything that you do and every choice that you make. And it'll just happen. It'll start unfolding in a beautiful way. It's crazy. It's crazy, this mind thing, you know?
Yeah, it really is. It really is getting out of that trap.
Or then it's lovely.
That either you should do it or you shouldn't do it. There's no shoulding on yourself. You stop shitting on yourself and you start really... Because
Yeah. It's self-acceptance. Accepting, like, I'm going to make a decision and I'm 100% okay with it, no matter what it is.
Okay.
But over time, once you experience the results, you're making decision based on results instead of any type of judgment of right or wrong.
Okay.
You're like, okay, well, this is the result I want. Like, hey, the result I want is I want to be lean, so I'm going to do a smoothie salad. And it's not like you're being strict. You're just... this is the result I want, so this is what I'm going to do. I want to go on a vacation this week, so I'm going to be pretty clean, but I'm going to have a donut. Might not work out every day. You see how that's more loving in both situations?
Right.
One is strict, one is playful, but they're both loving just by how you're thinking about it. So that's what I train as a coach. I train people how to think differently about the reality. And that it's all about your perception. It is so true. And I learned that. So many books that we read about thinking about our perception. So the perception we train our mind to have is a perception we will see in reality.
So if someone is listening and they're like 40 pounds overweight, I think that's like, I've heard that's a stat, like the average on the obesity scale. So they're 40 pounds overweight. They don't work out. Except to walk to the fridge, or they don't, and they don't like exercising. They don't want to, but they're making a decision today, and they're saying, "Okay, I hear you. I get it. Even when I look in the mirror and I don't really love the way I look, I'm gonna look in my eyes. Join me in doing this every morning and saying, I love you in the eyes. You don't look anywhere else." What else can they do? So realistically,
All right.
okay, what would be the things that you would just tell them to do?
Find out what it is you do love. A lot of people focus on, I don't like that, and I don't like the treadmill. Find out what you do love. One thing that I find that most people, not all, is they love to dance. Or maybe they love to go for a walk. So if it's not working out, not the gym, then maybe dancing to their favorite tune in the morning for 10 to 30 minutes, or maybe just going for a walk with a friend. I would find out what they love that can really get their heart rate up, because energy is real. We must move our energy, chi, whether it be yoga, maybe, it doesn't have to be yoga. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but it has to be something. So I found out what they love, and we'll focus on doing that 10 to 30 minutes every day.
Okay.
And then we'll find out the food that they love. Not all of, like, I don't like broccoli. I don't really focus as a coach on what people don't like.
Okay.
I focus on what they do like. And I tell each person, find 5 fruits and 5 vegetables that you do like, and practice eating them.
McDonald's doesn't qualify as a fruit or vegetable.
Absolutely not. It is an establishment that has very little fruits and vegetables. But there's always something somewhere. There's always a salad, and there's always, but I tell people the grocery store is a fast food place.
Yeah.
Instead of stopping at a, fast food, go to the grocery store, grab a already made soup, go to the salad bar in a grocery store, or get, a juice and have a couple of juice, or get some pieces of fruit like apples, oranges, bananas, and see how energized you feel after that. So I would just tell them, start with what fruits and vegetables they like and start with mode of exercise they like and make a commitment to that.
That sounds like a great beginning. And if you are wondering who I'm talking to, it is Koya Webb, the nutrition holistic health expert that I invited today. So you could take from the health menu from the shows this March, the Focus on Health. And it is that time of the show where we thank the sponsors who make the show possible. So we will be back in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out. If you think you don't have the money to start your own business, then I have fantastic news. Now you can own a business that has proven to be a phenomenal success all around the country with very little upfront investment. We're talking the Selfie Station. Selfie Station is a portable touchscreen photo booth that people and businesses book for weddings, corporate functions, trade shows, proms, promotional events, parties, and more. Selfie Station captures lifelong memories that can be emailed, texted, printed, personalized, and even uploaded to social media. You won't believe how much people will pay you to make your business the life of their party. It's the easiest income you'll ever earn and pays for itself in no time at all. You can start your own business right now. Let Selfie Station be the picture taker, icebreaker, and your moneymaker. Now, as a special introductory offer, you get $500 off the professional package. That's right, $500 off. SelfieStationPodcast.com. Type in the name of my show, Dr. Marissa, so I can get credit, please. Thank you. SelfieStationPodcast.com. That's SelfieStationPodcast.com. And get ready to make money today. Want a delicious taste of Thailand with a unique flair without getting on a plane? Then visit award-winning 50/50 Asian cuisine in charming Claremont Village. From lemongrass lime soup to Mandalay curry, Joyce's gourmet fusion taste will keep you coming back. And mention Dr. Marissa and you'll get a free appetizer. My favorite is the spicy salmon sashimi salad and chicken wings. 50/50 Asian cuisine, 201 North Indian Hills Boulevard in Claremont, California. I'll see you there. All right, we are back. You are tuned into a show about hope and happiness, so there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. On Take My Advice, I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here out of the Sunset Gower Studios, Universal Broadcasting Network, and every Thursday at 7 and now Saturday at 1 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5, and soon to be on iHeartRadio. So keep it tuned here. And if you are at all interested in partnering with me, as a sponsor of this show, please do contact me at drmarissa.tv, and we'll give you some really affordable rates starting at $350, which is unbelievable on radio. But we are here today with my non-diet, I'm going to call you my holistic nutrition coach, right? Like Koya Webb, who's been on the Steve Harvey show and is now on with the Asian Oprah, talking about the key to holistic health, which starts with loving yourself. Mm-hmm. And then after loving yourself, that will give us the awareness of making healthy choices.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what are some other things that you wish that the world knew to be healthier with their food and their exercise?
I agree that, it begins with that self-love. It's just really, no matter what you've been through, no matter what happened in your life up to this point, just stop the judgment and start the pure love. Mm-hmm. Just loving every side of yourself. It's like we've created an environment where everything harps on self-criticism and what's wrong with you and what is your problem? How can you relate? Mm-hmm. Let me hear your problems.
Right.
And actually it's more about how do you handle your problems and how do you come back to self-love. So when I'm talking with someone, I like to talk about how do you bring yourself back to love. And so loving and being in love with yourself is the most important, and not in a I don't care about anyone else, it's all just about me kind of way. No, and I take care of my health, I spend time with my family, I eat healthy foods, that type of loving yourself. So I want the world to know that it's not about being a certain size. It's not about looking a certain way.
I honestly wish that we could bring the Renaissance back, and then I would have no problem.
I mean, but seriously though, I mean, we have to become liberated in our love for ourselves. I mean, we just really have to be bam out there. And I'm still working on it. Believe it or not, I am still I teach it. I am still working on it. Just recently, I had last month, I was on Periscope crying because my hair fell out. You can see my hair is a lot shorter than it was a lot of weeks because I cut like a good 4 inches of it off because my hair was long and it was thick and it was curly and I didn't know what to do with it. So I tried to straighten it. Then I tried to wear it curly. Then I had a lot of Eco Styling gel. And then I started blowing it out at the blow dry bar. And then I looked up and half my hair was gone in the middle. And I cried. It hurt because I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's not my weight, but everyone has something. You might have your weight in your hair and then it's financial. You might have your finances, then you can't connect and you don't even love yourself. Like, our guy that, built the retreat. It's just like, it's always something,
Right.
That we have to work on. And when you come back to self-love, it's like, how can I love myself? Let me research. And I researched what I have now, which is Sister Locks. And I found out how to love myself. And I reached out to someone who could help me.
Right.
And so that's what I want to tell the world. Stop judging yourself, start loving yourself. And if there's a place that you feel like you're struggling and you need help, just reach out. That's what we're here for. That's what Get Loved Up, my company, is about. Love yourself by reaching out and then love others. We all have talents the other one doesn't have, and we're meant to help each other. And we are one. That's what I teach in the spiritual side of Get Loved Up is oneness. Come together and use your gifts and talent. You're using your gift of radio to tell people about me. I'm using my gift of health and knowing about health and connection to help others. And we all have gifts and talents. And don't feel bad if I don't have your gift or talent. Looking at someone else, I want to have what they have. How about just cultivate the best version of yourself you can cultivate? That's what I want the world to know. Cultivate the best you can be.
Absolutely.
And focus on that. Focus on love. And I also want the world to know that it's okay about not being perfect. In this world, there's no such thing as perfection.
I'm a recovering perfectionist myself.
It's all about progressing in the way that I know, right? We all.
Jarvis just raised his hand.
That's what leads to procrastination and doing what it takes to love yourself.
I have this little process. It starts with perfectionism, and then procrastination, and then paralysis. Right?
Exactly. That's the way it goes. It happens to,
and it is a disease. I really think perfectionism is a disease. It's a disease that robs you of the joy in life because it's never enough. So we're talking about the way we look or what we're doing or how we, I used to say, if I could just feel about myself the way that people compliment me, if I could just feel half as good as what they think they see in me. On my Facebook, I had someone go, "Oh, you're on this pedestal and there's no place to put my foot on a rung because she's," and then I had another Facebook friend who said, "Oh no, she has so many flaws. She puts herself out there and she's so flawed." And it's like, can we come to the middle on that?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Get to a balance on that. But it's totally, if I could cut myself the same slack that I cut, I try to, coach people to cut themselves, I'd be okay. But it is so, that perfectionism is so horrible. It is absolutely relentless.
And it's not even horrible. It's just fear. It's just fear. And I learned this at Agape by reading the book Course of Miracles. There's fear and love.
Right.
Right. And when you slip into that fear base, it'll say, okay, this is a disease I can't get rid of. But when you realize, oh yeah, it's just fear.
Yeah.
It's just fear that I'm going to be perfect or I can't be, that's just fear. And in love, it's total acceptance. It's total peace. It's total surrender.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I walked into a spiritual community that could teach me how to love myself and teach me how to live in love, because that is the biggest lesson.
Can you tell she goes to Agave?
Right. That's the biggest lesson anyone can ever learn is love. That is our gift from the divine.
Yeah.
And if we can learn to be in that, and we can realize that everything outside of that is fear. Everything, we can give it any name. We can give it, judgment or jealousy or disease or this. All it is fear. And it's manifested itself in all these different ways. And that made it easy for me to recognize when I was in a space other than love, to recognize that fear and then ask myself, how can I return to love?
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, Marianne Williamson helped me with that.
She was on my
Return
show.
to love. She was a beautiful woman, but she helped me so easily because she made the Course of Miracles like really even easier for me to understand.
Right.
She was like, boom, just return to love. And I love it. And so that's the message that I give myself daily. And that's the message I would give our viewers, just return to love. Anytime you see yourself outside of love, outside of full acceptance of yourself, of others, even of the world, with all this stuff going on, we still got to love it.
Yeah. I feel like the choir.
Right.
She's preaching to the choir.
Right?
I mean, they're going to start calling you the young black Dr. Marissa.
I know, right? Sure.
Instead of the Asian Oprah. Yeah. So the best acronym I've discovered in the last couple of months on fear, everybody knows the false evidence appearing real.
Right.
But the one I love is future events already ruined.
Ooh.
Right?
Yikes.
Right? I love that. And you're absolutely right. It is love, and it has to start. The buck stops right here.
Oh, yeah.
Because we cannot love. I cannot love fully unless I love here. And I cannot love here if I am not connected to love. And what is love but the oneness that you talked about, that one love, one source, one power, one presence, one peace, right? And when we all get there, we won't have terrorism.
That's right. And right now there's a trend. People are connecting in fear. It's like, I want to connect and relate, but we're connecting and relating in fear. I want us to connect and relate in love. Yeah. Why can't we connect and relate in love? It's not popular, but I'm going to make it popular.
Okay.
That's my goal.
All right.
I'm through Get Loved Up.
Trending love.
I'm trending love. Like, we're going to start connecting and relating in love. Like, I love you. I love this show. I love everything you're doing. I'm not talking about, I want to talk about how we relate in love.
All right.
That's my goal.
All right.
If I had a show, that's what it would be.
All right.
How we relate in love.
That sounds like a plan.
We'll see.
Love you up.
I'm gonna love you. You're gonna
up
get
and down.
loved up.
Yeah.
Get loved up. I'm gonna create a song about that.
We could.
Yeah, I think
could.
With your voice, yeah.
Oh, thank
Do
you.
anything.
I just wrote I Am Woman, I Am Free for the International Women's Day.
Ooh, I want to hear that.
we could Michelle wants me to do a little jingle too. So maybe that's it. Loving me, loving you.
I love that.
Ooh. That sounds good.
Loving you.
Well, we can't do that one. That's going to
can't
be
do that one?
copyrighted. No.
Oh, you gotta make it up.
we can't put this show on if we're going to sing.
Oh
that
no, I'm
song.
not gonna sing. I didn't sing anything. What are you talking about? No fear.
We're just loving up.
See, that's what happens when you become fearless. You just start doing anything. You get yourself in trouble.
So I usually end the shows by asking my guests, is there someone that you want to love up on the air specifically who has helped support you in the work that you do? So look in the camera and say, I love you.
I love you. My Agape family that introduced me to I'm Keeping True with Reverend Arlene and Dr. Marissa, who has me on this show. I am so grateful for the beautiful revelation that I've had in your care. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for every program, for every transcendental meditation, for every sermon, whether it be in person or live. I am so forever grateful, and I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you.
And that's
Changed
to
life.
is that to Michael?
Reverend
Is that the
Michael,
yeah.
Reverend Mike,
Like,
the
okay.
whole entire
The whole community. Okay.
of Agape. 'Cause there's so many people but definitely the Rev, but also, I mean, it's so many, Ricky B with her songs.
Yeah.
Sometimes the songs just touch me so much. So thank you. Thank you all for just the beautiful essence and people that pray for me after church. It's a different person every time. And all of that is just God working through so many different people.
Yeah.
So I can't even say just one person, just the entire community that's ever touched me, talked to me, prayed for me.
Aw.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate
it is
you.
our blessing. It is our blessing. And you definitely are love. How do people find you?
KoyaWebb.com.
KoyaWebb. Just in case anybody is driving and can't look at the print that's under your picture.
And every social media imaginable.
Yes.
Instagram,
She's
Facebook,
more than
Twitter,
me. She's on more
Snapchat,
than me.
Periscope. Well, not all of them, but most of them.
That's great. And then Asian Oprah giveaway. I know that you're going to give something.
Yeah, I would love
A car?
One day I'll be able to.
One day, me too.
give away. I give away things now. I have contests on my Instagram.
Okay.
Koya Webb and Get Loved Up on Instagram. I give away products that I believe in, like, clothing and healthy things for the environment. Today we did something for National Water Day, where I'm giving people a discount on water and things like that. So once people go and they're involved in my family, go to my website, sign up for my free newsletter, and you'll get all the giveaways that I do. It's not a car yet, but I give away some pretty darn good stuff.
Good. And for this show, I think you said you were going to give something specific.
Yeah, I want to give away my Get Loved Up 112 recipes that you have and love, which are smoothies, salads, and beauty bowls that will help take your health to the next level. I want to gift that.
That's
too.
so great. Thank you very much for that. Because that's
You're so welcome.
And if you're not getting it as a giveaway today, you can go to our website and get it. It's only $10, $20.
It's a full program.
Oh,
It's actually a full program. And if you go to if you go to KoyaWebb.com, you can sign up for either the Healthy Vegan RX or the Get Loved Up. And either one of those, you get the 112 recipes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Check
but
it out.
if you would like to win the free one that is
Free.
on this
is
show, yes, it's good, then go to my website. Let's do the Dr. Marissa website. I'm trying new things here. So just go to drmarissa.website and sign up on the newsletter and say nutrition, and you will get that free recipe book from Koya Webb.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you so much for coming on the air with me and providing my listeners some really great practical tips, starting with loving yourself and then moving on to things that they do love to eat and love to do to get more healthy. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, and it's time for the Balance Bar, where I get to invite you to join me in some of the things. We just finished round 57 of the 21-day fast from complaining. And if you have completed 21 days in a row without complaining, please do come to my website. Tell me, and just like Daia Jordan and Eva Atkinson from Kentucky and Janina Arvada from LA, they all won the 52 card Pick Me Up Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa motivational cards valued at $10, and they house the tips as well as don't forget to get the app. We're selling really well. I'd like to raise that bar. I produced an app just for you for the fast. So sign up, go to either Google Play or Apple Store, and you will get the 21-day Fast from Complaining app with Dr. Marissa. Also, round 58 starts April Fool's Day. So you can complain from now till then. Just kidding. This is the self-awareness time. How much do you actually complain? And this is also the let's talk other people who might be influencing your complaining into joining the fast as well. All right. I want to acknowledge Purple Planet Music. Hi, Jeff. Thanks again for use of your free, royalty-free, fabulous music. And if you are ever in need of that, go to his website, purpleplanetmusic.com. Also, if you want a different kind of Good Friday and Easter Sunday service, join Koya and I at the Agape International Spiritual Center. Ricky's putting together this fabulous Prayers in the Wind production on Friday, and I'll be on stage singing for that. And then Sunday as well, go to Agape agapelive.com for more information. And then the following week, choir, Agape International Choir, that I'm a proud diva for soprano on, is singing for the James von Prague internationally renowned medium. And he'll be doing psychic messages. That's April 2nd. Again, more information at agapelive.com. And don't forget, if you would like to take a class, a balanced Tai Chi Gong class with me, moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time, then you've got a couple of places you can do that. Revelation Conference at the LAX Marriott at the end of April. Sedona, Arizona at the Los Abrigados Resort, May 14th and 15th. And then in Huntington Beach, July 9th. And that's it for now. So, but if you come on to forbalance.org or drmarissa.tv, you'll find more information. You can sign up for that. Next week, it is time for Marvin Gaye. No, he's not coming on, but it is Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa, where I am determined, as the new Asian Dr. Ruth, to make pleasure a G-rated topic. And we have a very interesting guest, Michael Gabriel, author of the Barometer, the Balanced Relationship Barometer, coming up. And it comes with an app to measure how balanced your relationships are. So please stay tuned for another scintillating episode of Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pei. That's P for positive, EI. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Don't take away the part of me that wants to stay. It's all I want, to hear my life and sing along. For without it, there's no laughter, no tears, the lonely days after, no memories for the way things used to be. Many a friend has stopped along the